Stop sharing your screen for a second and then go to the...
It's recording. I got it.
Okay, fantastic.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
So here are some strategies. So the first is to create a routine whenever possible. Determine a time that's realistic for you to wake up, to eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner, when it works to do house chores and homework. The second step is to possibly create an at-a-glance master calendar for the semester. So this master calendar would include all your courses and your assignments and the due dates in chronological order. So this will give you a sense of what maybe a busy day in the week would be, or a busy week in your semester. Get specific about long-term and short-term planning. Is there a short-term homework assignment that you need to complete, or is there a larger maybe paper that you need to complete, and how can you chunk that out? Get specific about your goals. Fine-tuning your to-do list. So like I was saying before, you want to break down your to-do list into smaller tasks that are in chronological order. So for example, let's take writing a paper. So writing a paper can seem like a task that's super overwhelming. And one thing that you maybe want to consider is maybe one day you decide to look up the different topics that you want to potentially write about and determine what topic you want to write about, then doing some initial preliminary research, then going on the next day and writing an outline, and then finally taking your time to write a draft. You also want to separate your to-do lists based on whether they're academic or personal. One thing that I've struggled with is making sure that I separate my work and personal life. So writing two different to-do lists can be a really good way of saying, okay, like during this time, I'm just going to solely focus on my academic to-do list. And then once I'm done with that, once it's 4 p.m., then I'll take the time to work on my personal to-do list. And this can be a really good way to compartmentalize your life. Another thing that I forgot to add in the personal to-do list is making sure that your to-do lists are manageable. So one just like key thing that you should remember is to try to keep your to-do list between 5 to 6 items. So oftentimes if you have too little to-do lists, like 3 to-do lists, you will often procrastinate and feel like you have a lot of time and take your time to complete those 3 things and not be productive. And then other times, if you have too many to-do list items, you'll get overwhelmed and not be productive. So 5 to 6 to-do list items is like a good target mark for a given day. So again, after that, you want to estimate how much time each one will take and what resources you'll need. And lastly, you want to support ongoing reflection. So be honest with yourself. Checking in with yourself during and after the work. Identifying roadblocks coming up with solutions. So were you not productive today? Was it the environment? Was it that you try to get work done after a large meal? Things like, was it the timing? Maybe now you work better at night. So do you want to do homework between 9 and 12? Does that work better for you? And then assessing what happened, what didn't happen, and then figuring out what you need to do next. Do you, Matt or Adam, have anything to add? Okay.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I would just say to play. I was gonna say just to experiment and play around with different ways of making to-do lists. And so, like for me, I was doing Post-its for a while, and like even doing the Post-its on my laptop, post it on the back of my phone. That way I'll see it. Post it on my desk, my computer in the middle of my screen. That way I'll see it. But then it was just like too many Post-its everywhere, and so I wanted to like keep everything in one spot, and I tried a couple different apps actually. Like I tried the Notes app, I tried Evernote, but then I finally figured out that Trello worked for me. And so, just don't be afraid to experiment with different things. There's a lot out there, and figure out what works for you. Okay, I use Trello.
Okay. So to just get a little bit more specific on the master schedule that I was talking about before, so it's like a single document where you have all your classes, you include your reading assignments, your homeworks, your long-term assignments, and maybe exams and quizzes if that's something that's happening for you. I know this is relevant for college students. So an example of this is on the side. So having the course on the left-hand side, the assignment, and the due date in chronological order can be really helpful in viewing your week or your semester. It's time-consuming, but it's worth taking the time to make it. And just make sure you keep it somewhere that's easy to find. So whether that's your desktop or the first page inside your planner.
And one thing I'll note is there is infinite number of ways to put something like that together. And there's, I mean, some people like to use a physical planner. You know, I used to use a physical planner. I've sort of moved to using things on my phone. I think that because I know that I always have my phone on me, that can be helpful. But try different things out. We're going to send you an email after this with some resources. Matt mentioned that Trello is a good way to organize to-do lists. Today, I came across a really cool free app that's available called My Student Life, I think it's called, mystudentlife.com. So we'll send you that link, and I have like a tutorial video to show you how to use it, but it's got a lot of cool tools where you can organize your things that you have to do. You can input different dates. It's got a calendar piece too, where you can add things, assignments to your calendar. And they have an app as well. So you could do it on your computer, but you can also download the app and be able to open it up and see like, oh, okay, this is what my week looks like. Like Haiti was saying, you can try to put things in ahead of time so that, you know, when it's Monday, you look ahead and you've already put in like, oh yeah, I have this thing due on Friday. I know the way remote learning is working now, like when you're getting assignments and how those are being rolled out and when they're due is different than it used to look. But, you know, just adapting it to your needs. So we'll send you some resources, and, you know, if you have questions about them or you want to, you know, you want us to like help you move through it and see how you can use it, just let us know.
Yeah, so this is another helpful worksheet. So this is helping students plan for a big project or an essay. And the key thing here is to not get behind. And so this worksheet shows how to create a project at a glance. So breaking down assignments and papers into smaller, more manageable chunks, creating your own to-do list items and when you need to complete them by, adding these dates and steps into your time management system, so your planner. And so as you can see in this example, here the student has created a project at a glance where it includes the project name, the course that it's for, the due date, and all the different steps that they're planning on completing so that they'll get their project done in a timely manner. So now we're moving on to tips and tricks. So the key thing is to be proactive. So putting dates that are in the syllabi or in your teacher's instructions emails into your planner or your phone. Scheduling outside of class time, so making sure that you have dedicated times so that you know when you're doing things, when you should be doing things. Taking mini breaks, so study during like small mini sessions, and then take a break because it tends to be a lot more effective. Study as you go. So for each hour that you work on keeping up with the class, dedicate 15 minutes to actively review that material from the previous class or plan a big assignment. Okay. Monitor how you're doing. So zoom in or zoom out. Zoom in and out of the day, the week, or the month. So leaving time to reflect on what you've gotten done, what's missing, what's coming up, And then sometimes you'll realize that you didn't get as much done as you wanted to. Things come up, and that's okay, just as long as you're honest with yourself and finding a plan. And then lastly, ask. Meet with your mentor, reach out to another student in your class, or form a study group. And then this is just like different technologies that you can be using to help you with your time management. So on the side, you'll see a couple of different categories. So scheduling, you can use Google Calendar. As Adam mentioned, you can use My Study Life. There's also a free college schedule maker that's really useful. There's also a whole host of different to-do list applications. So there's Todoist, TickTick, Evernote, and then there's other things that help you stay focused. So there's this application called Stay Focused. What it does is it basically locks your screen for 25 minutes, and it makes it so that you're supposed to be actively engaged with that material, and it blocks out YouTube and Facebook for 25 minutes, and then after those 25 minutes, you'll have 5 minutes to take a break. So it's really making sure that you're like having mini study sessions and then a break, and then revisiting that as you go along. And we have a more extensive to-do list to-do list document that we can send y'all afterwards.
Yeah, we'll send you an email with all of this stuff put together.
Okay. So this is for my analog people, my people who like to write things down. So these are just some pro tips. So people have all sorts of ways that they use and organize their planners. Some people are very minimalistic, while other people like to create their own systems with color coding, sticky notes, stickers, and tabs. You name it, they do it. There's no wrong way to do it. There's no right way to do it, as long as you're just being consistent and have your own routine. There are really inexpensive planners that you can find at the Dollar Tree or UVM, and then there are more expensive planners like the Passion planners, which students tend to like because they have a lot of room for goal setting, making to-do lists, they have space for reflections, and they have lots of room to write down your schedule.
And I'll just add, if you're interested in physical planners at all, we didn't want to just like go ahead and buy planners for everyone in case like you don't have any use for it. But if you're like, yeah, that's a good idea, I want to have a physical thing to write in a book, Upper Bound can get one for you. Like that's a big part of like being able to manage your work and stay on top of it. And obviously that's what we're all about, helping you do that. So just let us know. Send Matt or Haiti an email, be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a physical planner. Do you have any suggestions? And we can mail one to you.
Yeah. So really the hope was to get your schedule from looking like this, where you think you have a lot of free time, into looking like something with more structure. So something where you're meeting your human needs, you're eating, spending time with family, enjoying some TV time and unwinding time, as well as incorporating blocks of homework and house chores or whatever other responsibilities you may have. Do you have any questions?
Does anyone have any thoughts or feedback or wonderings? You can type them into the chat box if you have any questions or anything.
And just to let you know, can you go back one slide?
Sure.
For everybody. This is an example schedule, sorry, let's go one more slide actually. This is actually an actual UVM student schedule. So like, as you can see, you might have math in the morning, then have these big breaks in between classes, right? Mm-hmm. Or just have 2 classes in one day. Look at those big breaks, right? Those breaks, it could be tempting. I mean, you look at it now and it's tempting. You want to fill that up with Snapchat or TikTok right there, right now. But As we go to the next slide, as you can see, the more structure, the better off you'll be, because you have things to do, not just academically, but in terms of living and keeping yourself alive.
And actually, like Matt and I and Haiti have talked about this a little bit the last couple of weeks, but like what you're doing now with like all of the free time, like typically you have a lot of structure when you're in school. This is actually a lot more like college learning than typical high school schedule is, what you're doing right now. So, you know, that's why we thought it was like a good idea to do this workshop. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. And, you know, hopefully this gets you starting to think about what your habits are and just be reflective about them. I mean, we're all facing a lot of stress right now. We have to be kind, not only to each other, but to ourselves. Like, don't put too much stress on yourself if you are procrastinating, if you're not getting the work done you were hoping to. But just be reflective and think about how you can better approach your time and better structure your time. We're here to help with all that, you know. If you want to like have a quick meetup, like, hey, I'm struggling with actually getting my work done, I'm not sure where to start, just let us know. We can help you with that.
Lek is asking, what app is that? Which app are you talking about? In the chat.
Yeah, which app are you referring to, Lek? The one right before? I think it was just an example of a schedule. But we're going to share with you, we'll send everyone an email with some resources, and we'll include, we actually have this exact schedule that's like in a fillable PDF, so you can just type in what you want to it. So we'll share some resources with you about with tools that you can use like this. Cool. Anyone have anything else to add? Well, thank you all so much for being here. I'll take that silence as a sign that we're all pretty done with this. But I
everyone's
really
muted.
It was a it was a good TED talk.
Thanks, Ali.
Yeah.
It's good to connect with you all again. And just a reminder, I think you all are aware, but we are having an Upward Bound summer program. Matt and Haiti and I are talking we're in the process right now of figuring out what that looks like, if we're still on lockdown, if we're still in a remote learning environment. But just keep an eye out. I know you're getting tons of emails all the time, but we'll be in communication with you. We're putting together a fun and I think interesting summer program. So just be prepared. We will be doing something, but I think it'll be worthwhile. So Matt, did you have something you want to add?
I was going to say something, but it might not be in person. So just prepare for that.
Might not be in person. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks everyone. Stay connected. Talk to you all
Thanks
soon.
Everybody. This is fun. Good to see y'all.
Have a good day.
Great job. Cool glasses, Heba.
Thanks, Haiti.
Yeah.
Thanks, Haiti. Thanks,
That's
Anna.
really
Great
awesome.
job, everybody.
Yeah.
Glad y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Was that you drawing on there?
No, I was trying to figure out who was doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was why I was asking about the whole password thing. Is like, if the password is out before.
You're saying if you release it too early?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, then like people plan to like, oh, I'm gonna do something. As opposed to, oh, here's the code right now. I guess I gotta just join as a normal person.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
yeah,
anyways.
I don't know how that happens.
Awesome.
That's why it's Zoom and not Teams.
Yeah.
I mean, so we gotta move on to Teams.
Yeah,
or
I know.
Google Meet or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so I keep getting emails from Zoom. They're like, oh, this is what we're doing for privacy. Make sure you use a password and all of this. But yeah, it is what it is. Well, yeah, thank you so much. I think this is perfect for right now. Like, you know, we told them, I think it's like really, really important that they at least think about this stuff now. And
go ahead, finish. Whatever.
No, what were you going to say?
I'm excited to, you know, possibly help someone create a system that works for them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Matt and I were actually on a cool, it was kind of a like virtual tour of this platform that we found out about. It's called virtualjobshadow.com.
Oh.
And so I wanted to let you know about it because I don't know, we haven't talked with the salespeople yet about like what it looks like for, you get like a year subscription, it sounded like, for all of your students. So I don't know what the price is, but it seems like it would be a really, really cool, it's great resources around careers in college that we could use in our like afternoon programming that we talked to you about. So, you know, definitely we'll keep seeing if we can get like partners around here who are interested in doing stuff. But from what we saw, they have